What's really hood, ladies and gentlemen? It's Talking New York Chef. I'm back at it again with the big homie Crooked Smile. Now, Crooked Smile, we did a show recently, and I asked you to take a small segment out and do it, and you were like, nah, let's give them what they want, what they need. So before we go into what we're going to talk about, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great, man. Another day in paradise being locked up.
Facts. It's pouring on my end. It sounds like what Crooked Smile said earlier that I was dragging a body across the room. It is what it is. But we're gonna go into you with some aces and eights. I'm gonna let Crooked Smile kind of take the reins here again because he's been absolutely killing it. So start breaking down the aces and eights. I know that we have a tall list to go over.
All right, so we brought up aces and eights in the last podcast. It hasn't been aired yet, but I'm sure once we get this, it'll be aired already. It's probably going to air right before this one, and then we'll put this one out. But we had mentioned before of a reformation of the aces and eights, and like my boy Chef said, he wanted to take it out and make it its own segment. I was like, no, let's keep it there, and let's just give the fans an entire show, just aces and eights, pretty much. So we're gonna break down the original aces and eights, and then we're gonna go ahead and break down into how we feel if the aces and eights come back, who and what the aces and eights is gonna be about when they or if they return. So the first aces and eights, obviously, you had Bully Ray as the president. Brooke was the first lady. Garrett Bischoff was as a soldier. We had Nux as a soldier as well. We had our boy, the Human Suplex Machine, Taz, as a spokesperson. Devon was the first sergeant of arms. D'Lo Brown was the first vice president. Doc, a.k.a. Luke Gallows, was a soldier. Ivelisse Velez was an honorary. Mike was a prospect. Mr. Anderson was a second vice president. Wes Briscoe, my boy, was a soldier. And yeah, that's it.
Well, hold on. I see you did rewrite in your notes too, and you left it off again. You're forgetting the August 1st warning for TNA.
Who's that?
Tito Ortiz.
Oh, the bullshit prospect. Oh yeah, I forgot. I wrote down bullshit prospect, so I thought I shouldn't write it. I thought I shouldn't even say it.
The bad boy Tito Ortiz.
Yeah, I put down bullshit prospect, so I didn't even worry about saying his name. What was he in Aces and Eights for, like 2 weeks?
It was something like that. It was very short lived.
All right, so it's not even worth mentioning. I guess it's an honorable mention.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, for sure. That was to boost up the fight between him and Rampage. I don't know what happened, but it never went down or something like that.
Oh yeah, no. I remember that one because they had Tito Ortiz. Wasn't Rampage on Aces and Eights?
Nah, Rampage was on Main Event Mafia.
Okay, I thought it was the other way around, but I know like they were having a clash between Aces and Eights and Main Event Mafia and stuff like that. And they were leading it into Lockdown, I believe, is the pay-per-view they were leading into to have the full, lethal lockdown and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what happened between the two. I know Tito, I guess, went to Bellator or something like that. I'm not sure.
I think whatever had happened in UFC, kind of, or whatever, wherever they were, something had happened. They kind of just fell apart real quick.
Yeah, like I know they were talking about making it a match, and it never came about.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to jump into how you felt about how Aces and Eights was formed and how it went about in its first era of.
Oh, you talked with Bully Ray and them.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was done okay. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I like the whole gang culture, biker culture, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. I used to make jokes and call it like the Sons of Anarchy ripoff. You know what I mean? Like, but it was done well. My only beef was it always felt like Hogan had to be involved with everything, and I got tired of the Brooke and the Brooke thing with Brooke Hogan and Brooke Tessmacher. That got kind of played out real quick.
Yeah.
Bully Ray, I'm not a huge fan. I know a lot of people are, big fans of him. I'm per se not. I would rather if he was not the president. I thought he was very cheesy when everyone else felt really official with the whole, do you know who I am? Like, whatever, homie. I don't care who you are. I mean, like I said, I think that a lot of the prospects shouldn't have been prospects as long. Like, I thought Wes Briscoe should have had a way quicker jump and seen more of him. Like, he should have had more of a prominent role, at least in the X division. Like, it just felt like everything was circled around only Bully Ray and what he was doing with, I think it was Chris Sabin at the time where they had their beef. And It was like, you got an entire faction and the whole shit is only circled around Bully Ray storyline.
Yeah.
Like, let these guys do what they were going to do. And I think that's where Impact kind of missed on that angle. Because it was you had names like Luke Gallows, for instance. That's a big dude. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
he could have just been running mayhem on people. Wes Briscoe, we know he can go. Like, if you're an Impact fan and you don't know Wes Briscoe, then I don't know why you're listening to this.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
Yeah, he's super talented.
Not to cut you off or anything, but shout out to Wes Briscoe for great talent, and he's currently a world champion in a promotion called Atomic Revolutionary Wrestling at the moment.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Dude is killing it. You know what I mean? Like, and but he looked the part. Like, if you look, and I don't want to keep saying the Sons of Anarchy thing, but let's be honest, Sons of Anarchy came out, and all of a sudden Aces and Eights came out. Like, they were riding that biker wave. If you took Wes Briscoe and you throw a cut on him and throw him on TV, he fits the Sons of Anarchy. Like, the son looks like a Sons of Anarchy guy. You know what I mean? Like, so I always felt like they seen that name Briscoe and they kind of played into it because of his family wrestling heritage. But like, they didn't really do anything besides always say who he's the son of, it was like, let him be him. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, I liked it. I just thought that it was just way too revolved around everything around Bully Ray.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It was just like Bully Ray's hitman is all it was.
Yeah.
I love how it was all brought about. It kind of threw you for a loop, especially because you wouldn't expect, because they had Bully Ray on his face run at the time, so you weren't expecting him to fully turn the way he did, and it was a kind of fresh type heel turn. I could definitely ride with it. So it just threw me off because you had, like you said, you had names like Mr. Anderson, you had Doc, aka Luke Gallows, you had Knox, used to be Mike Knox in ECW WWE day. And, obviously Wes Briscoe. But, Wes Briscoe is still very young, per se. But I do not take it away from him. The dude can wrestle. He can wrestle his ass off all day. He can wrestle a circle around you if need be. I have huge respect for that man. So don't get me wrong when I say he was young. But, I have huge respect for him. He very, very talented dude, and you also had Garrett Bischoff as well. Don't let me forget that name. But I felt like a lot of it was all around Bully Ray, and then obviously you had Taz at the commentary table. So Taz was always having his voice of opinion.
Another thing about it, like, we're Impact's own people. Mm-hmm. We've seen Brooke Tessmacher have a crazy career, and what did they do with Brooke Tessmacher when she was in Aces and Eights? Nothing. Like, literally, she was a hot piece of ass. Like, that's how they literally used her. You know what I mean? Like, you're just that super hot, sexy chick, and we're just gonna have him like kind of flaunt you around, like, look at the baddest chick in the industry. Like, if you would have let her do her thing under that, Aces and Eights could have. I keep trying to tell people, and I use the reference Bullet Club because how long the tenure is and how well Bullet Club was done. And I'm not even a Bullet Club fan. But if you look at how they shifted guys in and out, how they always stayed relevant, how you always heard, like, if you did Aces and Eights right, and to be honest with you, the guy Luke Gallows, he's a Bullet Club dude. You know what I mean? Like, So if you do this smart, you have a super hot chick who can wrestle like she's dope. You could have had her look good. You could have had your young guys like Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff. You could have tuned them to come up. You could have had your ECW guys with Knox and the Dudleys. You know, like you had everything in place, and you were like, well, no, Bully Ray is the guy, so that's who we're gonna circle it around. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just whack.
Yeah, no, it like once it fully went about and everything, and it was all about Bully Ray. You know, it killed itself in itself. But yeah, other than that, there's not much you can really strive much on it. You know, like as time went along, you know, obviously it started to break apart. Like obviously you had Devon. I think Devon was the first to leave. Then you had D'Lo Brown, and then you know it started falling off and off and off, and then finally Anderson and Bully Ray were going back and forth for a little bit, and trying to see who the real leader was and everything else like that. And finally it just broke apart. So it is what it is. They could have had something great, but you know, it is TNA, it is Impact, so you know they don't know how to hold on to something very, very well.
That's the part that really sucks with it. Is it's like they lose patience. You know what I mean? And when you build something, even if it doesn't work, if you sit down, like if we sit there and we say, well, let's try this. We try it for a while. If it doesn't change, and then we're trying to keep switching things up because we believe in it. We're going to stick to it as far as we can because we believe in this.
Like a certain thing that we were literally talking about earlier. I'm not going to say what it's about, but we were literally just talking about it.
Yeah. You know, and it's like you try as much as you can because you put so much into it. And it feels like with Impact, it's just waves. It's here 1 second, gone the next. Like, build it. You know what I mean? Like, let things become mainstays. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's I don't know.
All right. So I don't want to keep it on a bad note. So we're going to actually go ahead and kick it off, and we're going to say who we feel is going to start if it comes back. Like I said in the beginning, if it comes back, who do you feel is going to run the new Aces and Eights?
All right. So I don't know a lot about Mike work with Gallows and Anderson. I don't know who the better is. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm not a big WWE guy to watch WWE. So I'm, you know, by the time my son was watching New Japan, I think they're already in WWE. So, you know, I didn't see a lot of those guys talking. I don't really care who talks, to be honest with you. I think that if Aces and Eights comes back and you have the opportunity to really bring this back, you have Luke Gallows, who was already there. So you bring him in, and if he comes in with that cut, oh shit, one of the OGs is back. And I think he was just a soldier then, right?
Luke Gallows was just a soldier, yes.
All right. Now, the way you rewrite that is it fell apart, and now the soldier is taking over. If you need a mouthpiece, you could say that Anderson is the, what do you call it, the president. It doesn't matter at that point. You're just sitting there saying he's the mouthpiece and whatever. So you slap that little thing on him, and Gallows is the VP. So now here's how you do this. You have the North versus whoever the fuck they're gonna fucking wrestle at Slammiversary.
Yep.
They win, and I know you had a great idea. I'll let you touch on it because it's two different points of view, and I like what you did. I'll stick with mine and you do yours because it was different than mine. I thought it was dope. You have Anderson and Gallows jump out from the crowd, or, you know, the empty arena. I don't know what it's going to be at this moment. You have them come out of nowhere and just beat up the North. You know, the Aces and Eights music kits, they're obviously already wearing the cuts. Everyone is, oh shit, Aces and Eights is back. Next week, you see them backstage or, you know, wherever they need to be. And they see the OVE guys. They let them know, yo, you guys, you know, you had a rough patch. You know, nobody's taking you serious. You know, we're bringing the crew back. And they hit the prospect shirts with the prospect vest. And now all of a sudden you have OVE, who has been extremely devalued and worthless. And I like those guys, but the way they've been booked is trash. Um, you literally take them from absolute nothing, from where you can't have them start winning because then whoever you have looks worse because these guys couldn't win. So now all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, they're with the aces and eights. They start doing their little, come out, helping the big homies out. They'll pick up a win here, they'll pick up a win there. All of a sudden, Jake and Dave, Chris, they start coming up because they have now the option of the aces and eights pedigree behind them. So now you have a group of four. I do think that you grab a female. At this point, I don't know who it would be. I mean, I damn sure don't want it to be Jordana Grace. Taya Valkyrie is too good by herself. You know what? It might be that Deonna Purrazzo girl. Because she, either her or what's the girl who used to wear the sunglasses? She's in Impact now.
You're talking about Emma, right?
Yeah. I think Tennille Dashwood, I think her name is, right?
Tennille Dashwood is her name, yeah. Her name was there. I just couldn't roll it off my tongue.
Yeah. When you said Emma, I was like, there you go, boom. But you can have one of those two girls, or, who knows who you're going to have. But you have one of them come out. I don't want it to be another Brooke Tessmacher thing. I want them to, let them do their thing. And you have one of those girls come out, all of a sudden you're like, oh, here we go. But you got to have patience with this.
Yeah.
Let it grow. And don't do an NWO where 90% of the rosters and aces and eights have like maybe 6 males and a female. And that's all you really need. You know what I mean? You don't need 900 members to be in this shit. And I mean, I think that's how you save OVE. You bring a female in, and all of a sudden aces and eights is back, and they're taking over.
That's who you're rolling with? You're with those guys?
That's who I'm rolling with.
All right, so I'm sure you see me jotting down some notes
I did jot down notes, and I was like, yo, what is he doing?
So I was jotting down some people. I was thinking, like, coming off with a team off the top of my head. And I know you said you didn't want it to be like 7 or more people, and I was like, that's why I gave the look like, damn, like I have like read about 7 or 8 people.
If you got 7 or 8 people, say it. Who cares?
So the aces and eights I would love to see come together would be obviously Luke and Carl, Jake and Dave. I agree with you on that. So there's your 4. I actually want to throw another big man in there. I want to throw Madman Fulton in there. I'll throw Madman Fulton in there.
That's a big one.
Yeah, and then to run with your X division if need be, if like Jake or Dave don't run X division,
you better not say TJP.
I'm gonna say Richard Swann. But I did have TJP as a backup, God forbid.
Are you kidding me?
Bro, just think about it. Just think about it. Because if Swann is injured, because he is injured right now. If you don't get Swann in time, you have TJP. You could always kick out TJP. I hate to say it. You could always kick out TJP and have Swann jump into that spot. I agree with you on Tennille Dashwood. That's actually who I was writing down as well.
Ooh.
That or Su Yung.
Yeah, but Su Yung, like, she got that whole demon bride thing.
That's all right.
You think it fits the image of aces and eights?
You could channel it. You could channel that. If you don't want to go with that, if you don't want to go Su Yung or Tennille Dashwood, we can always go with Havoc.
That's a good one.
I'm saying,
That's
man.
a good one.
I would love to say Rosemary, but like same thing with Su Yung. Like they have the demon characters. I just love Su Young's in-ring work. So I was like, put her with a faction like this, bro. It's fucking all-star faction.
I'm gonna tell you now. My favorite 2 in Impact is Su Yung and Taya Valkyrie. I think Taya is a complete package. I'm a Taya fan, but I think Su Yung is the better wrestler. Like
I literally I'm not trying to put this on myself, but whenever I see Sue, I always when I meet her in person, I always call her my big sister because she always looks out for me. Anytime we're like around each other, she's always looking out for me. So I definitely have love for Su Yung. I can never turn my back against Su Yung.
Yeah, I don't know Su Yung. I'm just a fan. And I will admit that I'm a fan. And she's to me, she's the best wrestler that Impact had. I mean, I don't think there's anybody better. I don't care when people want to say Tessa Cena. You know, like Su Young. Su Young is the best that they have. And but now I'm thinking about it. She actually does a split personality character as Susie.
I don't think you can't put Susie with aces and eights.
No. I'm just saying, but she can easily switch from that weird Susie thing to Susie normal. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is, and then if when need be, all of a sudden big matches, kind of like how we were talking about. What's that little? I call him a vanilla midget with the paint on his chest.
You're talking about Finn Balor, bro.
Finn Balor.
How are you going to disrespect Finn Balor?
I don't like Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor is one of the most overrated wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. Wow. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I know. Listen, I know he's talented and everything else. And
are we gonna have to do a case against Finn Balor? Because we haven't done a case against him in a hot minute.
That's true. Hold on a second.
Oh, here we go. He's probably making another. So, just so you guys know, off camera, this man's been making margaritas off camera, so he's probably making himself another one.
No. My big ass dog is running through the house like a madman. Like, you know, that's a big pit, and she's just running into my couch, boom, boom, and I'm like trying to do a podcast.
No pun intended, right? No pun intended. No pun intended for the Madman Fulton.
No, I'm just saying, like that was a good one, but like I'm over here trying to do a podcast. Have some damn respect. Give me my time.
You ain't getting no time with dogs, man. Same as kids, you ain't getting no time.
That's facts. No, I agree though. I agree. I love your list. I think your list is serious. But that's where it stays at max, though. You know, because anything else after that, it's like overdone.
Like, honestly, I would only have Luke and Carl. I know they're tag team, but you can run them as a singles.
Oh, yeah.
You could have OVE, Jake Chris, and Dave Chris go in there. I just like the look of – because Fulton could fit it. But I really want to see Fulton on a singles run right now. But I threw him in there as like one of the all-star guys because he can work, and I feel like he would look great with the whole faction. So I threw him in there. Swan as an X Division guy, he phenomenal.
Swan is the truth,
without a doubt. And that's what I'm saying. And then TJP just has that personality like vibe to him. Like he could rock it. Like honestly.
That's the weird part with TJP is TJP seems that he could fit anywhere. Like you've seen him as Manic, you've seen him in the Revolution, like, and you think like you had an Indian guy, a cowboy guy slapping people, but somehow TJP, who was the smaller guy, who was no longer that same size, but he still fit in. You know what I mean? Like it just seems like whatever his niche is, he's able to just fly under the radar. Like he could fit anywhere. It's the one thing I give TJP credit about.
Yeah, without a doubt. I just can't think of any names right now because I sure as hell wouldn't put the North in here. I'm sure some people would probably in their fantasy draft lineup they would probably put the North in there. They wouldn't.
To be honest with you, and if you want, we do another one another time. If Impact does it smart, and say they bring back this Aces and Eights group, and they definitely have to fill out at least half the names we said. If they were smart and they get Eric Young, you bring back Team Canada, and you put him to lead the North. Without
a doubt, that would threw me off there. Yeah, definitely. That'd be. You could do that. You could have them as a trio. Without a doubt, like that, or if, God forbid, thinking about this now, I didn't want to say the name, but if you can throw, I would throw out Swan or TJP, and I would throw in Mike Bennett. If they bring in Mike Bennett, if they would go with an ace, if they have a new Aces and Eights, I would throw out Swan and TJP. I'd throw Mike Bennett in there. And then, obviously, Mike Bennett comes with Maria, so you'd have Maria in there as well.
And she would look serious in an outfit like Brooks.
She would look serious in it. Like, let's be honest. She's had two children. She's had 2 kids, but she still looks gorgeous as ever.
Oh, it's like she did not have kids.
It's like, yeah, exactly. It's like it's just like, yep, kids out. Okay, well, back to normal. It's like, what? See, this is a margarita, guys. Like, this is what it's come to. This is what it's come to. He'll tell you it's flavored water, but it's not.
Why do you think it's in this bottle so you can't see what I'm drinking? But it's just water. It's ice cold water.
I bet it is.
Oh, I'm running low.
Oh yeah, you're out of ice too. Your ice melted.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, no, literally, before we start the call, this man's literally over here bartending a margarita. I'm like, what is he doing? I thought it was flavored water. Like, no joke. He's like, nah, this is a margarita, brother. I'm like, all right, well, sorry.
Listen, by the time this comes out, it's past 12 o'clock.
Yeah. All right, so you guys know, since he wants to say it's past 12 o'clock, on the dot right now, it is currently 11:57 a.m. And we've been going at this for a good 26 minutes. So he's been drinking at least since 11:30 a.m. So it's all right. That's our boy Chef. You can't blame Chef. He's got to deal with all the wild madhouse dogs, madmen dogs.
Listen, it's Thursday. The weekend's almost here. We start a little early.
Almost, yeah. You start early, yeah. It's raining outside, and you got to drink when it's raining outside.
Of course, you got to get with the vibe. It puts you into a relaxed set of mood. You know what I mean? Like, so do you think that? What's the possibility you think of Aces and Eights really forming back? Before you answer it, Impact has released the old school Aces and Eights t-shirts recently.
Have they?
Yep.
That definitely brings it from a 0% that I was thinking.
You saw 0?
I thought 0%. Honestly, I didn't think it would come back. I put it about, if they just released it, I'd probably push about a 60.
I'm gonna go with an astounding 90%. Because if you think about it, Anthem's whole thing was we want to go away from TNA, right? That was their thing. You bring back the TNA Heavyweight Championship. You have your TNA special, TNA this, TNA that. They're bringing back all the TNA t-shirts. So as far as you want to go as far as possible away from it, you seem to be riding its wave.
Technically.
Look, we just keep it honest here. And we don't have to be right. You know what I mean? Like, we're fucking human beings. So we just saying what we think.
Exactly.
Me personally, I think that Anthem should get their sticks out of their asses and, wake up and
bring us in creative.
Yeah, oh my God, dude. Like, people always sit there and they're like, oh, it's the best creative. Your creative is trash. Like, you got Ken Shamrock right now about to be going against Mike Elgin and freaking Sami Callihan. You got Ken Shamrock beating Sami Callihan, who you're pushing to the sky. You got Ken Shamrock doing whatever that what would you
suicide dive, baby.
Suicide dive.
The Eddie Edwards dive, baby.
Oh my God. Like, I've jumped off some high things that I was nervous about, and I've never looked that bad. You know what I mean? Like,
Ken Shamrock for Impact Champion 2020.
Dude,
2020 can't get any worse than it already is, so might as well slap the title.
That's a good point.
Let's slap the title on him.
Listen, if Ken Shamrock somehow comes out with that title,
that's my champ.
Wow.
Like Moose is your champ?
Wow.
Shamrock is my champ.
I don't even know if I can do a case against. I don't even know, like,
oh,
man. I have to, like, draw something and act like it's me behind me because, dude.
Draw like a little doodle bob or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't even try to be creative. I'll just draw a little smiley face and write, like, Chef is really here or something. I can't stand it. because you have guys that are so freaking talented, and yet you got Ken Shamrock running around beating your most over wrestler. You know what I mean? Like anywhere you go, what happened?
I've lost my train of thought because I can't believe they're pushing Shamrock right now.
Dude, he beat, like, everyone's gonna say it was his retirement thing that they put him into the Impact or TNA Hall of Fame. First of all, he was their first champ. He has no kind of long tenure. You know what I mean? Like, he really didn't do much besides be that first champ. Had a like quick drink and he was out. But you had him beat Sami Callihan, and then you had him seem like he injured him, where Sami Callihan could not perform at his best against Mike Elgin. Mike Elgin beats him, which is like, all right, fine. Mike Elgin's a talented guy. I get that. But you're making Sami Callihan look real scrubbish towards fucking Ken Shamrock? You know what I mean? Like, you got an entire roster full of cats.
Yeah.
And you're using this guy? Enough with the Tommy Dreamer. Like, I don't get the Tommy Dreamer thing no more. Like, he's always around saving somebody, like he's fucking Batman or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, put a fucking cape on that guy. You know, I'm whatever. I don't want to go too far off the aces and eights. It's what we do. We kind of just do what we do, but
man. Never stay on track, man.
Listen, at least we kept it all Impact, though.
Yeah, we did. We did. We didn't throw it off in any other companies, so.
No companies.
But yeah, no. I feel if they're bringing out the shirts, it's probably about a 60 to 70% chance they'll bring it back. I don't see why not. Because out of the name I have, if you need somebody to talk, you can always put Jake or Dave Chris to talk. Unless you get Mike Bennett or Maria, then obviously you can have them talk for you.
You get Bennett, you just let him go.
Exactly. Honestly. Then there's your mouthpiece right there. And honestly, if they did bring back Mike Bennett, it'd be pretty funny if they do make him the president. Because obviously Maria's there. That's your first lady. She says she's the first lady of Impact Wrestling before. So she could just be the first lady of Aces and Eights. So you just have Mike Bennett as your president.
Dude, now you got my brain going, right? Like, Mike Bennett comes out, stands at the top of the ramp. They're looking like, what's he doing here? Obviously, he's wearing a cut. She's wearing the black leather stuff. And while they're focused on them, Aces and Eights comes out and jumps the North.
Do they have a match against Jake and Dave Christ?
No, you talking about Slammiversary?
Yeah.
I think it's the North versus the Rascals, I think. I'm not even sure, but I know it's not OBE.
Okay. Yeah, no, you could definitely build a feud against the North for sure to get those titles off. Yeah, I'd say bring those three in at the same. I know I said on the podcast not to bring Luke and Carl in at the same time, but if you're gonna switch roles to how I just put it, where you're gonna have Mike Bennett come in as the leader, bring those two guys in together.
Yep.
It would flow normal. You would have Mike Bennett, like you said, at the top of the ramp. You could do his whole miracle thing and like, do you believe? Just obviously don't bring out the miracle part, and then or you could bring out the miracle thing and just like, do you believe in miracles? And the next thing you know, boom, Aces and Eights. You know, because it technically is a miracle that Aces and Eights did reemerge.
True.
But yeah, you could go so many different ways with it. Like honestly, like Impact Creative, listen to this podcast, man. I'm telling you, listen to the Jokers Club podcast. We give you on a silver platter what the fans want, and
we give you it, and it's free. Listen, and you know what's crazy? If you did
you don't
that,
have to charge us anything, or we don't charge you anything. You just have it.
Facts. And then the dope part is, if you do it that way and they get beat up, the next week you could have Eric Young actually introduce them as Team Canada. Like, you know, they whooped your ass. You know, you're gonna need some help. Let's get it. You know, let's do this. And all of a sudden, You have him sitting there. You have the North with him, and they look a whole lot better too.
Thinking about that as well. If you did bring in Madman Fulton into Aces and Eights, you could always play into that storyline too, because EY and Eric Young did have the sanity thing in WWE. You could always have it to where EY plays like a mind game or something on Fulton or whatever, and it could distract him or something like that. You could play something like that.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. You could have Madman Fulton mess with Eric Young. You can go multiple ways with that one.
There's so many options. You know what, Impact Creative? This is free. You're welcome.
Exactly. You don't have to PayPal us. You don't have to Cash App us. You don't have to send us money on Zelle. You don't have to send it through a MoneyGram. You don't have to send any cash whatsoever. We are giving you we're giving it to you on a silver platter. We're just saying, here, have it. Like, there'll be no lawsuit because obviously you have the visual and audio saying to have it. So it wouldn't shock me, to be honest, if Impact does steal our stuff, but it's all right.
You know what though? It'll be out now. So if they did it, I'll be the first one to come on here and be like, "You're welcome."
Exactly. I'll be like, "I told you so." I'm not gonna let you full on steal it and be like, "Oh no, we thought of this yourself." I'm gonna sit on here on this podcast and be like, "Impact lied" or "Impact stole from me," and just be like,
I can make that happen.
Exactly. Like just the whole time, Impact lied, Impact stole from me. If they try and say like, "Oh no, we thought about this ourselves."
Yeah, sure you did.
Sure. Read the shirt, brother. Like.
So did we touch on everything, my brother?
I think we did, but real quick, I wanted to do a shout out to Chris Boggs, because I'm sure he's going to watch this podcast. You know, I got to rep the national champions of the UCF Knights for 2017. You know, it's all right.
I can't say nothing. My team actually won that year. So Clemson, the national champs.
Who? They didn't win the national champion in 2017.
Alabama beat them in 2017? Are you sure? Because Alabama only beat them once.
I'll bet you $20.
Well, I don't bet. I only bet on things I know I'm going to win.
Yeah. No, Alabama won 2017 because that's when it was supposed to be UCF and Alabama the following year, because UCF wanted to play Alabama. And Alabama.
And they would have got abused.
But the 2017 UCF?
Yeah, they played nobody.
Oh, here we go. Why does everybody? It doesn't. Why did Alabama say no to us?
Because you ain't even worth playing.
All right, we had what, 20 plus consecutive wins.
Let me ask you a question. What's your bowl game record? In that, since what, 2016? What's your bowl game record? 1 and what?
No, we're not. We're like 3-1 or something like that.
No, you're not.
Are you talking the conference titles as well?
No. I'm saying bowl games.
I think bowl games were like 2-1.
No, you're not.
All right, Chef.
I know you're not. Like, because a friend of mine is from there. Like, he plays baseball for the team, and
you're talking about that guy.
You played football with him, the big white kid. He was the center fielder.
That's what I'm saying. We went. I believe we're 2-1 in bowl games since 2017.
You know what? I'm not gonna because I'm not gonna list so many things on here to try to look for. I'm not gonna talk UCF on an Impact podcast. If we need be, we can do a UCF fucking cast.
What I will do, if I am right, or no matter of fact, I will put it on the end of this video. I will put the UCF. I'll put the UCF bowl game record at the end of this video.
That works for me. So
that, or we could do it. I say screw it. We just started doing football. We do all freaking sports. Screw it.
We are. And when we do UCF, when we do UCF, you bring Boggs on because he's another UCF guy. I'll bring the white boy Aaron, my boy from work. So that's, you got 2 UCF. I don't know if you went there, but you're obviously fans of the team. He plays for UCF baseball.
All right.
I'm going to bring the three of you on, and I'm going to say one of my homies from New York, and it's going to be the three of you versus us two, and I bet you can't out-talk us.
All right. That's a deal. You got it. You got it. You don't understand. Us Knight fans, I've been a Knight fan since, I think, 2006. So I know the losing struggle. A lot of people are like, "Oh no, you jumped bandwagon." No, I was there for that. I was there for that 2018 season.
Don't say you understand struggle. I'm a Bills fan, homie.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that.
If anyone understands struggle, it's this guy here.
Yeah, especially in 2017, right? Especially getting knocked out in the first round in the wild card.
We don't need to go that way. So, ladies and gentlemen,
to my Jacksonville Jaguars.
Something like that. This is just our take on some Impact Wrestling. We got a lot of Impact Wrestling homies that always say, "Yo, when are you guys going to talk Impact?" So we listen. The more, and we keep saying this, the more you guys give us feedback, the more you appreciate something. And if you appreciate it, hit a like and share it so we look at our numbers and we know what to stay doing. Because if it's not appreciated, if it's not being monitored or whatever, we really don't need to do it because you obviously don't give a shit. So the stuff you like, push it out there. We know to keep doing it. We're definitely going to stick with our LFC. We're still going to talk wrestling. We're going to be talking boxing and MMA. Crooked was talking about that, I think, like a week or two ago, that the next UFC fights that we really want to touch on. We're hoping McGregor does come back because Crook is a huge McGregor fan, as myself, but he's a bigger one. I love McGregor.
From rumor, like I believe you were telling me this, it's going to be from a rumor. It's supposed to be McGregor versus Anderson Silva, which we'll touch on another podcast. But
yeah. I really don't want it because I automatically was about to start talking about it, and I was like, hold on, like let's not give them that.
And
so we got so many things we're working on. You obviously know about our partnership with LFC. We're super proud about it. I got a really good email last night before I went to sleep, and we're going to talk to the president.
No, don't bring it up. Don't even bring it up. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
Y'all don't get that neither.
Nah. Well, they know who we're going to talk to. It's a president, but we don't know if it's which president it is. Because I'm sure they have a few. I'm sure they have a few there, but you know.
So y'all get that information, and we're out of here like Vladimir. Deuces.
Yeah, guys, just remember, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification. That way you do get the updates when we do post our videos. We do post once a week on Thursdays, but trust me, we are working on getting more content out to you guys. Like Chef said, we want to do sports, we want to do MMA, we want to do football when it comes back, hopefully, which it should be. We're going to do MMA. We might even be doing WWE here shortly. A lot of people have been saying stuff about WWE. We're not huge fans of WWE, but if you guys want that content, we will suck it up. We will watch Monday night and Friday night. NXT is on Wednesday nights. I'm more of an AEW guy, but if it comes down to it, I will figure a way to watch both, or I'll watch highlights from NXT. But we're trying to get as much content out to you guys. We love you guys. We love doing this. Like it's a hangout for us, you know. So it's just overall great for everybody. It's a win-win. So, like I said, guys, like, share, subscribe, turn on that bell notification, and let's have some fun. Anything else, Chef?
No,
I know you guys tell me to plug myself. I already know.
I was just about to say it too. So the only thing I'll plug is at Joker's Club pod. So listen, by now you should already know it's a Z, not an S. Put it all the way through. We got the Facebook page as well. There's so many things that we're doing with this. The Twitter and the Instagram is the same. So make sure to scribe. Like I said, scribe. You know what? I'm about to be like, yo, calm down, slime.
It's margaritas hitting them now. That's what it is.
Yeah. It started to feel real. Like, listen, this thing is freaking. My dude, it's the size of my chest. It's empty. You know what I'm saying? Like this thing is huge, homie. Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say.
All right. So I'll go ahead and plug our partnership with the LFC. If you want to check them out online, it is lingeриefc.com. I finally looked it up. That is what it is. It is lingeриefc.com. You can follow them on Instagram at LFC. You just type in LFC and the Lingerie Fighting Championship will pop up. I believe it's the same thing for their Instagram and not their Instagram, but their Twitter and their Facebook. You just type in LFC and I'm sure it'll pop up first. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram real quick at crookedsmile_HT6. Like I've always mentioned, I'm going to be posting on there a lot more once this ordeal ends. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So be sure to check us out.
Yes, sir. So you just got to hit that button because you were the one with the call.